What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you an NFL discussion video on why I have former Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden as my number one receiving option in this year's class. Let's talk about it, guys. So, first thing I'm going to say is, what about T-Mac from Arizona? 6'5", however many pounds he weighed, 195, 200, whatever it is, 205. What about him? Freak athlete, tall, long, can run most routes. But for me personally, and I even said this when my Falcons drafted Drake London a couple years ago, and I wasn't a fan of it. I value speed. I value speed. I value separation. And what Drake London is 6'3", I believe, 6'2", 6'3", on the taller side of 6'3", and no space creation at all really, but a great hands catcher, good receiver overall, and I'm happy with what we got. But I just value speed more, and especially being as tall as T-Mac is, 6'5", most of those guys don't pan out, no matter how freakishly athletic they are, no matter how good they may look, how good they may be. I just don't see, or I haven't seen my whole entire time watching the NFL too many 6'5" receivers pan out to be great, and depending on where he may go in the draft, they may need him to be great. And this class overall, to me, isn't an overall great receiving group. They're good in depth. You'll find some good number twos, good number threes, good value pieces late in the draft. Felton from Maryland, Royals, Higgins from Iowa State or Utah State, whatever. It's a bunch of guys I done did research on looked at the tape, all that good stuff. But Matthew Golden, to me, outside of Travis Hunter, I'm not gonna mention him too much in this video. If he was a true wide receiver, he'll be one hands down. Separation, speed, unique weapon, everything you want in a freakish athletic receiver, bottled up into a good size, 6'1", 6'2", in that range, 6'1"-ish. Great hands, just great contested catcher, everything you want. He has that, but as we all know, for at least right now, most teams value him as a cornerback. But if he played receiver straight up, he would be my number one option. But that leaves Matthew Golden. Golden from Texas, man, he reminds me of a young Stephon Diggs. And Stephon Diggs was a true number one in my opinion. For a couple years, he played that part for Josh Allen and the Bills. Really, his main time. He was good in Minnesota as well. Don't get me wrong. Good with Houston this past year before getting injured. But he's a little older now. But his prime years, that Buffalo run with Josh Allen, that was a true number one wide receiver. And I think Golden has the same potential as him, maybe even more. We'll see how everything pans out. But he's 6 foot, 185, 190 range. Needs some more frame. He has the frame to get more muscle, more weight. They'll come over time. I expect for him to probably get around 210 by the time his second or third year, and that'll be his probably normal playing weight from that point on. Be getting his grown man body, and real NFL body. Year two, year three, year four, somewhere around there. 205, 210, probably be his final weight, and that'll be great for him. He has breakaway speed, but he's just not a deep threat speedster though. He can go across the middle. Good route technician, pretty good hands. He does have a little bit of concentration drops. But outside of that, he's and those normally for easy catches, but for harder catches or contested catches, he's fine there. And you saw him this past year with Quinn Ewers. Even his time back in Houston, he was good there as well. But even with Quinn Ewers this year in Texas, he down the stretch versus these big teams in the playoffs and even the later games towards the season, he was the go-to option. He was the big guy, and he made those plays. He looked phenomenal doing it. And as I said prior, kind of alluding to this, even with T-Mac, and if he does pan out or not, there's not too many true number one options in this class. There are guys who will be good. They'll be solid. Some will play better than expected. Like I said, Royals, Higgins, the Utah State, Iowa State guys, all those guys. They're going to be better than expected probably. One might break out to be a number one wide receiver, but they're probably going to be second, third, maybe even fourth round picks. But their first round options, got Trey Harris, I'm kind of cool on. Isaiah Bond, even though I value speed, he doesn't use his properly. I don't know if it's a team, a scheme, or what, but he doesn't really. He has it with Bama, but with Texas, he didn't really show it in this last year. So I'm kind of cool on Isaiah Bond. Alec Meyer from Stanford, I like him a lot, but future number one, probably not. The kid from Miami, more of a slot guy. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, slot guy. Luther Burden, probably a gadget guy, can do it all, slot, X, Y, Z, whatever. He can do it all outside, inside, but not really a number one, but he probably will be good. And you have T-Mac, who's a number one option by build, but can he get open? Can he make plays? Can he handle physicality? I don't quite know yet with him. And even Golden too as well. We'll see him more as he enters the league. But I trust Golden. He can create space and he make things happen. And the biggest pro on him to me, out of all his pros, let me pull up here. I have my notes right here pulled up. Nasty route runner. I have that in all caps. Nasty route runner, explosive playmaker, and natural hands. That to me is the best thing. When that had that combination of those three things, he's probably the only one in this class that has that. Isaiah Bond has the route runner. No, excuse me. Isaiah Bond has explosiveness, but a playmaker, not so much. When he gets the ball, he catches and gets tackled. No really break tackling from Isaiah Bond. You get that from Travis Hunter, but everything applies to Golden, kind of applies to Hunter as well, except for the route running. He's just more of a nasty just athlete, where Golden is a real route runner, technician, but explosive with great hands. Hunter more raw in the route running part, but he beats you and he gets it done. That's why, like I said, I'm not even considering him in this group. But if he was, he'll be my number one, and Golden will be number two. Very close, but I have Hunter, just a freaky guy. But you have Egbuka from Ohio State, good player. Gives you some similar things to Golden, but he's a strictly, from what I see now, strictly slot guy. Matthew Golden can do it all, and that's the thing that makes him better. Slot, outside, whatever you want, he can give it to you. He'll beat you deep. He'll beat you intermediate. He'll beat you short and still make something happen. And Mike can break a tackle or two, make a juke move or two, get a clutch first down, get a clutch big play, get a clutch touchdown. And that's something a lot of these guys in this class probably, from what I see right now, probably can and won't do as often when they get to the big leagues. And the landing spot for Golden right now is kind of tricky. Most teams have him in the 20s, 20 down to the end of the first round. And if listen to me good. If he lands with a contender, if he lands with the Bills, if he lands with the Chiefs, if he probably not, well, Chiefs possible, but I doubt it. They need a tackle, they need some other stuff. But if he lands with the Ravens, if he lands with the Steelers and they get a quarterback, so that's more teams on the list. Not going through every team. The Commanders. If he lands with the Commanders, if he lands with the Eagles, if he lands with the Cowboys, dog, I am telling you, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be an absolute problem. Pairing him up with Josh Allen, pairing him up with Lamar Jackson, pairing him up with Joe Burrow from the Bengals. If they lose, even if they don't lose T. Higgins, which we'll see, they're trying to keep him franchise tag signed to a long-term deal. That's the rumor. But if they don't keep T. Higgins, trade him away, they have Yossi Voss, they have Chase. My guy Jermaine Burton hasn't panned out. Off the field problems now, as we see this off season, so he might get cut or whatever. So with that being the case, you need a receiver. If you have Matthew Golden with Jamar Chase and Yossi Voss, good night, good night. I'm telling you. So depending on where he goes, he's gonna be a problem. And even if he goes somewhere with a non-elite quarterback right now, Steelers, who could get him? Steelers, can't think right now, but the Saints, they could use someone else. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and him would be nice. There's more teams out there as well trying to get. Even the Broncos be nasty too, with Bo Nix. Because Troy Franklin wasn't bad, but I don't know if they draft a receiver though. I don't know. The Tampa Buccaneers, if they don't bring back Chris Godwin, The Rams could use him. If they do trade Cup, which they probably will. They have Winnington, the tall guy, Jordan Winnington. He's not a number 2 right now. Tutu Atwell's a free agent. Robson is a free agent. So there's a team out there for him. We'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure a team will fall in love with him in that first round. There's probably no doubt as of right now. It just depends on where. And I see him in a lot 20 to the 32 range. He might can get into that top 15. And my Falcons somewhere in the top 15, I think. 15, I think, maybe. Cowboys around the same time. The Dolphins, if they trade Tyreek Hill, could be in the hunt for a receiver. And they're right before my Falcons. I know that for sure. So, there's teams out there, the Jets, who could use another receiver. They let go of Adams, I'm sure. He's going to be cut or traded. Rodgers gone already, so Adams should be going too. Pairing him up with Garrett Wilson and get a quarterback in there, a little bridge quarterback. That's not bad. They need receivers bad as well. Alan Lazard probably will be cut. Corley will be not cut. Corley going to his second year wasn't really used as much. Xavier, what's his name? Xavier something. The guy that Rodgers liked a whole lot. Xavier Gibson. We'll see what he can do. Number 3 guy, number 4 guy, we'll see. So the Jets need some help in the receiver room as well. So we'll see where it goes. Top 10, top 15 could be where we see Matthew Golden goes. And wherever he goes, no matter where he goes, especially if he go to a contender, I'm telling you this right now, mark my words, if you're this far into the video, he will be a star, maybe even a superstar early. And that's my take on Matthew Golden, man. But that's it for video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.